Get away from our car. The woman's voice cuts through the evening air outside Meridian Heights, one of the city's most expensive steakhouses. Valets freeze mid-step. Diners turn their heads. The homeless man doesn't move. He sits cross-legged on the sidewalk, weathered backpack beside him, hands resting on a small wooden box in his lap. Salt and pepper beard, faded military jacket with torn sleeves, eyes fixed on nothing. Did you hear me? The woman steps closer, designer heels clicking against concrete. Her husband and teenage daughter stand behind her, holding leather-bound menus. This is private property. The man's breath stays even, in, out, slow and measured. Mom, he's not even looking at us, the daughter whispers. That's the problem. The woman's voice rises. These people think they can sit anywhere and make honest customers uncomfortable. A young waiter named Marcus pauses at the entrance, tray balanced on one hand. He watches the scene unfold, jaw tight. The husband steps forward, phone already raised. If you don't move, I'm calling the police. Please, the homeless man says quietly. First word he's spoken. Just 5 more minutes. 5 minutes? The woman laughs, sharp, bitter. So you can harass more people for change? I don't think so. The man's hands tighten on the box, knuckles white, but his face remains calm. Look at him, the husband says to his daughter, voice loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. This is what happens when you make bad choices in life. No discipline, no work ethic. The daughter shifts uncomfortably. Dad, what? It's true. He pockets his phone, leans down toward the homeless man. You could get a job if you wanted, but it's easier to sit here playing victim, isn't it? Marcus sets his tray on a nearby table. His hands shake slightly. The homeless man's eyes finally lift. Not angry, just tired. Ancient tired. I'm waiting for someone, he says. Of course you are. The woman crosses her arms. Let me guess, your imaginary friend? Light from the restaurant spills across the sidewalk, golden and warm. The evening crowd grows, more witnesses, more people pretending not to watch. The man checks a battered watch on his wrist. 6:43 p.m. 17 minutes, he whispers to himself. What's in the box? The husband asks suddenly. Drugs? Stolen goods? The man's entire body goes rigid. For the first time, something flickers behind his eyes. Not rage, something deeper, more controlled. It's not yours, he says quietly. Everything on this property is our business. The woman steps even closer. We're platinum members here. We have a right to feel safe. Marcus finally moves. He walks toward the group, shoulders squared despite his slight frame. Excuse me, he says. He's not bothering anyone. The husband turns, sizing up the young waiter. And you are? Someone who thinks maybe we should all just calm down. We're perfectly calm. The woman's smile is ice. We're also paying customers, which means management will listen to us, not the help. Marcus's jaw clenches, but he holds his ground. The homeless man shifts slightly, adjusting the box in his lap. The movement is careful, reverent, like he's holding something sacred, the daughter notices. What's really in there? She asks, voice softer than her parents'. The man looks at her. For a moment, his expression softens. A promise, he says. Oh, spare us the cryptic nonsense. The husband waves his hand dismissively. You want money? Is that it? Name your price to leave. He pulls out his wallet, extracts 5 $20 bills, holds them out like bait. The homeless man doesn't reach for the money, doesn't even look at it. I don't want your money. Everyone wants money, the woman says, especially people like you. People like me. The man repeats the phrase slowly, testing its weight. He looks down at the box again, runs his thumb along its edge. The wood is dark, worn smooth by years of handling. If you believe true strength comes from keeping promises no one else remembers, subscribe now. Marcus steps closer to the homeless man. Sir, what are you waiting for? The man checks his watch again. 6:49. A family, he says. They're supposed to meet me here, at 7. A family. The husband snorts. Right, and I'm sure they're very real. The valet attendant, an older man named Vincent, finally speaks up from his post. Mr. Hartwell, maybe we should let him wait. He's not causing any trouble. Not causing? Mrs. Hartwell spins toward Vincent. He's sitting on the ground like some kind of animal. This is a 5-star establishment. He's sitting, Marcus says quietly, because standing for long periods is probably difficult for him. Mrs. Hartwell's eyes narrow. And how would you know that? Marcus hesitates. Then, the way he's favoring his left side, the slight tremor in his right hand, those are signs of addiction and laziness, Mr. Hartwell interrupts. Of nerve damage, Marcus finishes. Silence. The homeless man looks at Marcus with new attention. Something shifts in his posture, recognition, maybe, or respect. Mrs. Hartwell checks her own watch. We've wasted enough time on this circus. Either he moves, or we're speaking to the manager. I'll move, the man says, at 7:01, if they don't come. They're not coming, Mr. Hartwell says, cruel certainty in his voice. No one's coming for you. That's the reality you need to accept. The daughter touches her father's arm. Dad, please. He shakes her off. Sarah, this is a life lesson. The world doesn't owe anyone anything, especially not people who won't help themselves. The homeless man's hands tighten on the box again. His breathing changes, faster, shallower, but his voice remains steady. You're right, he says. The world doesn't owe me anything. He pauses. That's not why I'm here. Vincent, the valet, moves closer. His eyes are locked on the wooden box now, something clicking into place in his expression. Sir, Vincent says carefully, that box, is it military issue? The question lands like a stone in still water. Everyone stops. The homeless man looks at Vincent, really looks at him, then nods once. Navy corpsman, he says quietly. 2003 through 2009. Mrs. Hartwell's irritation wavers for just a second before hardening again. Oh, so now you were in the military? How convenient. I was a medic, the man continues, ignoring her. His eyes have gone distant. Attached to a Marine unit, second deployment to Ramadi. Vincent goes very still. What unit? He asks. 1st Battalion, 6th Marines. The valet's face drains of color. When? 2006. Marcus watches the exchange, confused but sensing the shift in energy. The Hartwells look annoyed, ready to interrupt. But Vincent holds up a hand, silencing them. What's your name? Vincent asks the homeless man. James Porter. Vincent takes a step back. His hand goes to his mouth. No, he whispers. No, that's not possible. James Porter's tired eyes focus fully on the valet for the first time. Do I know you? Vincent struggles with the words. I was 1st Battalion, different company, but I heard about you. Everyone heard about you. Mrs. Hartwell huffs impatiently. This is absurd. He probably looked up some military information online too. Ma'am, Vincent says, voice sharp now. Please be quiet. The command in his tone stuns her into silence. Vincent approaches James slowly, like approaching something breakable. You were the medic at the Juleba crossing, September 2006. James's entire body goes rigid. The box trembles in his hands. I don't talk about that, he says. 17 Marines, Vincent continues, voice thick. Insurgent ambush, IED followed by small arms fire. You stayed in the kill zone for 4 hours, pulled out 12 wounded under fire. Marcus's eyes widen. You were recommended for the Navy Cross, Vincent says. James shakes his head slowly. I didn't deserve it. Why not? Because 5 didn't make it. James's voice cracks for the first time. I couldn't save 5 of them. The sidewalk has gone completely silent. Even the traffic seems muted. Mrs. Hartwell's face has lost some of its certainty. Mr. Hartwell stares at the homeless man, at James, with new confusion. One of them, James continues, looking down at the box, was my best friend, Connor McKay, 23 years old, married for 8 months, had a daughter he never met. His thumb traces the edge of the box again. He died holding my hand, made me promise I'd give this to his family, his personal effects, the ones that mattered. Tears track through the dirt on James's face, but his voice stays level. I tried, right after we got home, went to his hometown, Pittsburgh, but I wasn't ready. Couldn't handle seeing his wife, his baby girl, kept thinking if I'd been faster, if I'd done something different. He stops, breathes. So I ran, ended up here, told myself I'd try again when I was stronger, when I'd healed enough. But I never healed. Vincent crouches down beside him. James, today's the anniversary, James says. September 17th. 19 years ago today, Connor died, and I made a promise. He looks up at Vincent. His daughter reached out 6 months ago, found me through a veterans group. She's 20 years old now, never knew her father. She wanted to meet, his voice breaks, wanted to know who he was. Vincent's eyes are wet now too. She's coming here? Marcus asks quietly. James nods. 7 p.m. I told her I'd be outside this restaurant, that I'd bring her father's things, that I'd finally keep my promise. He checks his watch. 6:54. Mr. Hartwell has gone pale. His daughter is openly crying. Mrs. Hartwell opens her mouth, closes it, opens it again. We didn't. No, James says simply. You didn't know. Most people don't. He looks at the scattered $20 bills still lying on the ground where Mr. Hartwell dropped them. I'm not homeless because I'm lazy. I'm homeless because I can't hold a job when I wake up screaming 3 nights a week, because every loud noise puts me back in that street, because every kid's face reminds me of Connor's daughter growing up without him. The tremor in his right hand is more visible now. The VA tries. They do. But there's only so much medication can fix when the problem is in here. He taps his chest. When the problem is knowing you weren't good enough to save everyone. Sarah Hartwell steps away from her parents. She walks to James, crouches down beside Vincent. You saved 12 people, she says, voice shaking. 12 families got their sons, their fathers, their brothers back because of you. James looks at her. His expression is raw. That's what everyone says. Because it's true. He shakes his head. Truth is relative when you're the one who had to choose. Triage. That's what we call it. Deciding who gets treatment first, who's most likely to survive, who you can still save, and who... He stops. Who's already gone. Vincent puts a hand on James's shoulder. You did your job, under impossible circumstances. You're a hero. Heroes don't end up on sidewalks, James says bitterly. Heroes are human, Marcus says, joining them. And humans break. That doesn't erase what you did. Headlights sweep across the sidewalk. A sedan pulls up. The passenger door opens and a young woman steps out. Early 20s, dark hair, nervous energy. She looks around, scanning the crowd. Her eyes land on James. Mr. Porter, she calls out. James stands slowly, legs unsteady. Vincent and Marcus help him up. He clutches the wooden box against his chest. Lily? He asks. She nods, walks toward him. Her eyes are already wet. I look like him, she says. Don't I? People say I do. James's face crumples. You have his eyes. God, you have his eyes. They stand 3 feet apart. Neither knows how to close the distance. Finally, Lily speaks. My mom told me what you did, how you tried to save him, how you held him. I'm sorry, James says. I'm so sorry I couldn't. Stop, her voice is firm. My mom said the last thing Dad told you was thank you. For staying with him, for not letting him die alone. She steps closer. She also said you were supposed to rotate home that week. Your deployment was over, but you volunteered to stay because they were short on medics. James nods slowly. So, you didn't have to be there. You chose to be. You chose to be in that street, in that hell, because someone needed you. Your father needed me, and I failed him. No, Lily's voice breaks. You gave him the only thing left that mattered. You made sure he wasn't alone, and then you carried that weight for 19 years because you're too good a man to let it go. She reaches out and touches the box. Is this... James nods. His wedding ring, dog tags, letters he wrote you and your mom in those last months, photos, a book he was reading, The Old Man and the Sea. He wanted to finish it before he met you. Tears stream down Lily's face. Can I... James hands her the box. His hands shake so badly that Vincent has to help guide it into her arms. Lily holds it like it's made of glass. She opens it slowly. Inside, the items James described, but also something else. A small, worn teddy bear. He bought that for you, James says. Week before he died. Found it at a market in the green zone. Said every kid needs a bear. Lily clutches the bear to her chest and sobs. James stands there, arms empty for the first time in years, looking lost. Lily steps forward and wraps her arms around him. He freezes, uncertain, then slowly, carefully hugs her back. "Thank you," she whispers. "Thank you for bringing him home." Behind them, the Hartwells stand frozen. Sarah is crying openly. Mrs. Hartwell has her hand over her mouth. Mr. Hartwell looks like he's been struck. Vincent picks up the scattered $20 bills from the ground. He walks to Mr. Hartwell and hands them back. "He didn't want your money," Vincent says quietly. "He wanted your humanity." Mr. Hartwell takes the bills with shaking hands. Lily pulls back from the embrace. She wipes her eyes. "I brought something too." She reaches into her bag and pulls out a folder, opens it. Inside is a single document. "The VA contacted me 3 months ago," she says. "There was a mix-up in Dad's paperwork. Some of his benefits never got properly transferred. There's back pay, housing assistance, medical coverage." She hands the folder to James. "It's not much, but it's enough to get you into a place, to get you help. Real help." James stares at the papers like they're written in a foreign language. "I don't understand." "You've been carrying Dad all these years," Lily says. "Now it's our turn to carry you." She looks at her mother, still sitting in the car, watching through the window. Her mother nods. "Mom wants to meet you, wants to thank you herself. We've set up an apartment, first 6 months paid, and there's a trauma center that specializes in combat medics. They're expecting you Monday." James's legs give out. Vincent and Marcus catch him, lower him to the sidewalk. "I don't deserve this," he whispers. "Yes," Lily says, kneeling beside him. "You do. You kept your promise. Now, let us keep ours." She takes his hand. "You're not alone anymore, Mr. Porter." The restaurant manager has appeared at some point, drawn by the commotion. He looks at the scene, then at the Hartwells, then back to James. "Sir," the manager says to James, "would you and your guest like to come inside? Dinner is on us." James looks up at him, stunned. Sarah Hartwell suddenly speaks. "Put it on our tab." Her parents turn to her in shock. "Sarah," her mother starts. "No, Mom." Sarah's voice is firm, years of private school polish stripped away, leaving something raw and real. "We humiliated this man. We assumed the worst. We were cruel. The least we can do is pay for his dinner." She looks at James. "I'm sorry. We're sorry. You deserve so much better." Mr. Hartwell stares at his daughter, then at James, then at the bills still in his hand. Slowly he walks forward, kneels down. "I said terrible things to you," he says. "I judged you without knowing anything about who you are or what you've survived." He holds out the money. "This isn't enough. This doesn't fix anything. But please, take it. Use it for whatever you need." James looks at the money, at Mr. Hartwell's face, lined with genuine shame. "Donate it to the Wounded Warrior Project," James says quietly. "In Connor's name." Mr. Hartwell nods. "I will, and I'll match it, 10 times over." Mrs. Hartwell joins her husband. She doesn't speak at first, just looks at James with eyes that have finally learned to see. "I have a brother," she says eventually. "He served in Afghanistan. He came home different, angry, struggling. I didn't understand it. Didn't want to understand it." She stops, composes herself. "He killed himself 3 years ago." The words drop like stones. "I wasn't there for him. I told myself he just needed to be stronger, to get over it, to move on." Tears now. "I was wrong. I was so wrong, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't learn this lesson when it could have saved him. I'm sorry I needed you to teach it to me." She reaches out and touches James's arm, a brief, tentative contact, then steps back. Lily helps James to his feet. "Come on, let's get you inside. You need to eat." They move toward the restaurant entrance. Vincent and Marcus walk with them. Sarah looks at her parents. "I'm eating with them." Mr. Hartwell hesitates, then nods. "So are we." Inside, they're led to a large corner table, windows overlooking the city, soft lighting, white tablecloths. James looks overwhelmed, out of place. His jacket is torn, his face weathered. He doesn't belong in a place like this. Except he does, because the people at this table have decided he does. Lily sits beside him. "Tell me about him, my dad. What was he like?" James takes a shaky breath, then begins to talk. He tells her about Connor's laugh, about his terrible jokes, about how he carried photos of Lily's ultrasound pictures everywhere, about the way he could calm panicked Marines with just his voice, about his kindness, his courage, his fear, his humanity. The table listens, riveted, honored to be there. Hours pass. When they finally stand to leave, James looks different. Not healed, not fixed, but less alone, less bent under the weight he's carried. At the exit, Vincent catches his arm. "I'm a veteran too," Vincent says. "Marines, 2004 and 5. I struggled after I came home. Still do sometimes." He pulls out a card. "That's the veterans group I'm part of. We meet Thursdays. You should come." James takes the card, nods. Marcus steps forward. "I'm studying to be a therapist, clinical focus on trauma. If you ever need someone to talk to..." Another card. James's eyes are wet again. "Why are you all being so kind?" "Because someone was kind to me," Vincent says, "when I was sleeping in my car and thought I had nothing left. One person saw me, really saw me. It saved my life." He squeezes James's shoulder. "Now it's my turn to see you." Outside, the night has deepened. Streetlights glow, traffic hums. Lily walks James to her car. "Mom wants to take you to the apartment tonight, get you settled. Is that okay?" James looks back at the restaurant, at the place where, an hour ago, he was being mocked and dismissed. Now, it's the place where everything changed. "Yeah," he says. "That's okay." Lily hugs him again. "Welcome home, Mr. Porter." 3 months later, James stands outside the trauma center. Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. appointment, group therapy. He's clean-shaven now, hair trimmed, wearing clothes that fit, still thin but not skeletal. The tremor in his hand is less pronounced. He's not healed. Healing isn't linear. Some nights are still hell, some days he can't get out of bed. But he's not alone anymore. He enters the building, signs in, takes a seat in the circle. Vincent is there. So are 4 others, veterans in various stages of recovery. "James," Vincent says warmly, "good to see you. Good to be here." The session leader, a woman named Dr. Chen, begins. "Today we're talking about guilt, about the weight of things we think we should have done differently." James listens, eventually speaks, tells them about Connor, about the promise, about carrying that box for 19 years. "I thought keeping that promise would fix me," he says. "That handing over the box would lift the weight." He pauses. "It didn't. The weight's still there. But now I understand something I didn't before." "What's that?" Dr. Chen asks gently. "The weight isn't punishment, it's connection. I carry Connor with me because I loved him. Because what happened mattered. Because he mattered." He looks around the circle. "I don't need to put that weight down. I need to learn to carry it without it crushing me, and I can't do that alone." Nods around the circle. Understanding, recognition. After the session, James walks outside, pulls out his phone, a text from Lily. "Dinner? Friday? Mom wants to show you Dad's photo albums." He smiles, types back, "I'll be there." Another text. From Sarah Hartwell. "Dad's company is hiring veterans for management training program. Interested?" James stares at the message. A job, a real job. The idea terrifies him. He types, "Maybe. Can I think about it?" Response comes immediately. "Take all the time you need." He pockets the phone, looks up at the sky. Clear blue, endless. There's a coffee shop across the street. James walks toward it, orders black coffee and a sandwich, sits by the window. A homeless man stands outside, younger, maybe late 20s, holding a cardboard sign. James watches him for a long moment, then stands, walks outside. "Hey," he says. The young man looks up, wary. James hands him the sandwich. "There's a veterans center on 5th Street. They've got food, beds, people who understand." The young man stares at the sandwich. "Why?" "Because someone did the same for me." James writes down Vincent's number, hands it over. "Ask for Vincent, tell him James sent you, he'll take care of you." The young man's eyes fill with tears. "Thank you." James nods, walks back inside, sits down. His hands are steady, not perfect, not cured, but steady enough. And for now, that's enough. The moral true strength isn't about being invincible. It's about carrying impossible weight and still choosing to stand. It's about keeping promises even when no one would blame you for breaking them. It's about learning that asking for help isn't weakness. It's the bravest thing a broken person can do. The assumptions we make about people reveal more about us than about them. James Porter wasn't homeless because he was lazy or weak. He was homeless because he loved deeply, suffered greatly, and carried a burden that would have destroyed most people. The Hartwells learned that dignity isn't granted by wealth or status. It's earned through character, through choosing compassion over judgment, through recognizing that every person you pass has fought battles you know nothing about. And sometimes, the greatest act of heroism isn't saving lives under fire, it's surviving the aftermath. It's getting up one more day. It's accepting the hand that reaches down to pull you up. James kept his promise, but more importantly, he learned to let others keep their promises to him. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. If this story touched you, drop a comment sharing your favorite moment. Hit that like button if you believe in honoring promises and seeing people's true strength. Subscribe for more stories about hidden heroes and the power of compassion. And let me know in the comments. Where are you watching from?